focusing. Hello. Okay, okay. We were focusing about the concept of air masses. That is one of the important concept in the field of climatology. Air masses, I have earlier defined that a larger body of air, a huge body of air having the similar characteristics or uniformity or homogeneity in terms of their physical properties, just like their temperature, pressure, air moisture, temperature gradient are similar and homogeneous for a larger area, thousands of kilometers of the area. If that homogeneity persists and their physical properties are similar with each other, then that larger body of air is called as air masses. The concept of air masses were initiated in the discussion during the time of World War, and the V. Burgens and his son Jacob Burgens were the earlier scholar who have studied about the characteristics of the larger masses of air that is originated over the definite source region. Then I have also discussed about the concept of source region. Source region is the geographical areas over the Earth's surface that is very extensive and that causes the generations of the air masses which is overlying over that source region. Source region means any geographical areas that is very extensive and over which the air persists and derive the characteristics of that surface is known as source region. So what would be the conditions of source region or the properties of the source region is being derived by the air masses which are located over that areas in term whatever the if the source region is located in the colder latitudes having the very low temperature, very less humidity, then the whatever the air masses that will be located over this definite source region will be also being affected by the characteristics and properties of the source region also. Suppose I am characterizing the source region and producing a concept of the ideal source region for the development of the air masses. What would be the characteristics or the properties of the ideal source region of the origin and the genesis of the air masses over surfaces? Generally, it is asked in the competitive examination what would be the ideal source region of the characteristics and the productions of source of the air masses. The first important property of the ideal source region is must be extensive and homogeneous, uniform ground surfaces. The source region must be extensive, larger. It must have the homogeneity in terms of its topography. It must be either a land surfaces or the oceanic surfaces individually. If there will be the mixing of the land and water bodies with each other over that larger geographical area, then it will not be called as a ideal source region because there will be the dissimilarities or the different type of the temperature over the land and water bodies, and that will not provide the definite homogeneous temperature characteristics to the air masses. That's why for the ideal source region, there must be the uniformity of the topography or uniformity of either land areas or the oceanic areas over which the air masses will be persist, and that will be affected by the homogeneous temperature and humidity characteristics. The variations of the land and water bodies will not provide the ideal source region for the development of air masses. Another things that is also required is there must be the ideal source region must have the zone of the atmospheric divergence. The area of the divergence wind movement is important characteristics for the ideal source region. And generally we see that the divergence of the wind is characterized with the high pressure belt areas over the Earth's surface, that is the subtropical high pressure belt and the polar high pressure belt. These are the areas of the world from where the wind start moving and diverging in the different directions. The area of the divergence is the important ideal characteristics for the ideal source region for the development of the air masses. So we can say that these area of the high pressure belt that is located in the subtropical high pressure belt of 25 to 35 degree north and south latitudes, as well as the polar high pressure belt from where the wind start moving, because these areas are the high pressure belt areas and wind moves from the high pressure towards the low pressure areas. That's why these areas of the divergent movement of the wind is one of the important characteristics of ideal source region. These areas are also called as anticyclonic areas. Anticyclonic areas means if there is the high pressure belt, high pressure system in the center and the low pressure system in the outer margin, then wind start from center towards the outer margin, and that is called as the anticyclonic wind movement of that locations. So in world we can say that the tropical sea, the sea area or the oceanic belt of the tropical water is one of the important ideal source region. In the same way, the desert area of the high pressure belt of the subtropical region is also one of the important source region of the development of the air masses. Then the colder areas, that is the polar areas of the world, either North Pole or the South Pole, is the important zone of that causes for the production of the different air masses. Then wind must be stayed to the air masses must be stayed for a longer time over that areas. The age of the air masses or the longer duration stay of the air masses is also required for the ideal planning region. If the air will be stayed for the longer duration, then it will derive the characteristics of the land or the oceanic, uniform oceanic or the land surfaces, that is the source region of that world. Then on the basis of the air masses and its distribution over the Earth's surface in terms of the geographical distribution, sometime the air masses being modified in the way when it start moving from their source region towards the other areas, then it will be affected by the characteristics of the way and the characteristics of the path over which that is moving. The path of the movement of the air masses also sometimes produce the and affected and influence the properties of the air masses also. Sometimes suppose a colder air mass is originated over the polar areas, then it start moving in the areas of the warmer part of the earth, then surely it will be modified by the properties of the path of the movement over which it is moving. Sometimes the air masses also affects to the areas and to the atmospheric characteristics of the areas over which it is moving. A very warmer air mass, if it moves in the colder area, then it enhance the temperature or the increase the temperature of the colder area also. So it is also modified by the path of the movement, and sometimes it also modify the atmospheric characteristics of the area over which it is flowing. It depends upon the nature of that wind movement, as well as it depends upon the time of the movement, how much time it is. The age of that air masses is also being one of the important point of the discussion in the topic of air masses. Let us discuss about the classification of air masses. Air masses we can see the classification of air masses. When we discuss about the classification of air masses, then we must have the knowledge about the basis of the classification. On what basis we are classifying the air masses? Suppose if we have to classify the students of my class, then I must have the basis. If I am going to classify about our students on the basis of their performance, about the ranking of the students. If I am going to classify my students on the basis of their height, if I am going to classify my students on the basis of the gender, male and the female others, or the transgenders others, so what would be the basis for the classification? That should be clear. The air masses generally is being classified on the basis of the two categories. First is called as geographical classification, based on the characteristics of geographical region, or you can say that it is the geographical classification over which the air masses is classified. And the second one is classification on the basis of the thermodynamics classification. There are the two bases of the classification of the air masses. One is geographical classification and the second one is the thermodynamic classification. Then let us discuss about the concept of geographical classification. For how many types of the air masses are there geographically? This classification is the geographical classification is also called as the classification on the basis of the source region. Then largely on the basis of the air masses and their characteristics, largely we have classified that there are the two type of air masses, warm air masses and cold air masses. On the basis of the temperature, we have classified the air masses into two categories, that is warm air masses and the cold air masses. What is warm air masses? वार्म एयर मासेस किसे कहते हैं, कल मैंने बताया था. बताएं. Yeah, that is right. Warm air masses are those air masses which are warmer in compared to the ground over which they are produced. जब सरफेस से या ग्राउंड से ज्यादा तापमान एयर मासेस का हो तो वो वार्म एयर मासेस है. एंड जनरली दे आर हैविंग द मोर टेम्परेचर, larger humidity, and that is coming from the tropical areas as a source region. You are right. लेकिन ये कहना जरूरी है कि warmer air mass is those air masses which has the comparatively more temperature in compared to the overlying ground surface over which they are located. Colder air masses are those air masses which are having lesser temperature in compared to the ground over which they are located, and they are generally produced in the colder source region, that is the tundra or the polar areas of the world, that is the subpolar or the polar areas of the world, and that is generally being classified in terms of the colder air masses. Then we can say that on the basis of this geographical region or the source region, the air masses are largely classified in terms of the tropical air masses and the polar air masses. There are the two type of classifications. First is the polar air mass. On the basis of the geographical region, there are the two type of classification. Polar air mass, and the symbol of this air mass is the capital P. Then the second air mass, that is on the basis of the classification of source region, is tropical air masses. Tropical air masses, and this tropical air masses is denoted by the symbol T. T is the T for the tropical air mass and P for the polar air masses. The polar air masses, that is classified on the basis of the source region, that is the polar areas of the world, either North Pole or the South Pole. This area is the high pressure belt area where the atmospheric density is very high and the temperature is very low and humidity is also very low in these polar air masses, and that is being denoted by the symbol capital P. Tropical air masses are those air masses that is originated and developed in the tropical areas of the world, and generally it is warmer, its temperature is more, as well as it is being it is lighter and it has the low weight in compared to the polar air masses. So polar air masses की characteristics क्या है? Polar air masses are generally those air masses which are originated over the polar areas of the world, North Pole or the South Pole of the world. These are very colder because their source region is in the cold areas. They are heavier because this is originated over the areas of having high density of the atmospheric pressure. This area, these polar air masses are dry because there are less humidity in the source region of their development, and these are having the heavy and the high weight in compared to the tropical air masses. Tropical air masses are those air masses which are warmer in terms of their temperature because they are originated in the hot region of the world. Tropical air masses are having the low weight, they are lighter because these are originated in the areas where the atmospheric pressure is low, not much high, but atmospheric pressure although high, but they are warmer, that's why their weight is low. They are very humid, that's why their weight is low. Humid air has the low atmospheric pressure. जिस एटमॉस्फेरिक पार्सल ऑफ एयर में ह्यूमिडिटी ज्यादा होती है उसका वेट कम होता है बिकॉज द मॉइस्चर कंटेंट रिप्लेसेस टू द लार्जर मॉलिक्यूल्स लाइक द नाइट्रोजन एंड एज वेल एज द ऑक्सीजन आल्सो. ये नाइट्रोजन को कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को थोड़ा सा कम करके ये अपना प्लेस बनाती है और इनका वेट ज्यादा है नाइट्रोजन और इनका in compared to the atmospheric moisture. That's why they occupy the space of the other gases which have the more weight, and they occupy the space of these gases, and the atmospheric moisture has the less weight. That's why the whole weight of that atmospheric parcel of air which has the larger humidity will have the low pressure, will have the low weight. They will not be more heavy in compared to the dry air. Dry air has the more gaseous molecule like the nitrogen and other gaseous molecule which has the more weight. That's why the dry air has the dry air is heavier than the moisture laden air. ये बात सबको समझ में आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
बेटा, this larger classification of the polar and tropical air masses are further classified on the basis of their smaller classification in terms of the their areas of the origin. Suppose polar air masses and the polar air and the polar areas is characterized by not only a uniform surface, but there is the maritime area as well as there is the continental area. The areas of the world that is classified in terms of tropical and the polar areas of the world are having this further classified in terms of their oceanic or the land characteristics of that area. अगर पोलर एरिया है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि सिर्फ वहां पे पोलर एरियाज में एक ही तरह की टोपोग्राफी होगी. पोलर एरियाज में आर्कटिक सी भी है और टुंड्रा लैंड भी है, ओशनिक बॉडीज भी है और लैंड सरफेस भी है, मैरीटाइम एरिया है और कॉन्टिनेंटल एरियाज भी है. ट्रॉपिकल एरियाज में भी आपके मैरीटाइम एरियाज भी हैं, ओशनिक सरफेसेस भी हैं और साथ ही साथ आपके लैंड सरफेस भी हैं. तो इसका फर्दर क्लासिफिकेशन पोलर एयर मासेस का और ट्रॉपिकल एयर मासेस का किया गया है ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देयर continental or the maritime characteristics. These air masses are further classified into the 4 categories of the air masses, and you can write down these 4 types of air masses into the larger categories of continental polar air masses, continental polar air masses, and that is called as small c and capital P. C for capital, a continental, और P कहते हैं पोलर. तो CP सेंटर पॉइंट, इसको याद रखो, कॉन्टिनेंटल पोलर एयर मासेस. Then the second category, maritime polar air masses. Maritime polar air masses. इसको किस सिंबल से डिनोट करोगे? MP. M स्मॉल लेटर में और P जो है कैपिटल लेटर में आपको लिखना होगा. मैरीटाइम पोलर एयर मासेस. MP, member of parliament, CP or MP. Then tropical area is also classified in the same way as CT and MT. Continental tropical air masses. इसको C और कैपिटल T, ये तुम्हारा क्या हो गया? कॉन्टिनेंटल ट्रॉपिकल एयर मासेस. उसी तरीके से इसके अंदर भी ट्रॉपिकल एरिया में भी समंदर है, आपके ओशियनिक और मैरीटाइम बॉडीज हैं, तो फर्दर क्लासिफाई करो. द फोर्थ इज, दैट इज द थर्ड वन, एंड द फोर्थ वन इज मैरीटाइम ट्रॉपिकल एयर मासेस. इसको कहते हैं स्मॉल m और कैपिटल T. मैरीटाइम ट्रॉपिकल एयर मासेस. ये बात समझ में आ रही है सबको?
यस सर.
ओके. There are there are many climatologists who have defined and as well as they have given their detailed explanations and classification of the air masses. Someone may have also further categorized in terms of the equatorial air masses, and they have given the equatorial tropical and equatorial maritime, like ET, MT, ME, maritime equatorial and the continental equatorial. बहुत सारे लोगों ने आपके सब ट्रॉपिकल को अलग कैटेगरी में रखा है और इसको अलग कैटेगरी में रखा है. तो दे हैव क्लासिफाइड इनटू डिफरेंट वेज, और इसकी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स भी हम लोग जो है देखते चलेंगे. अब एक और क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ थर्मोडायनामिक्स के बुनियाद पे जो क्लासिफिकेशन है, we have to also learn to that classification on the basis of the thermodynamics classification. Then it is also called as the mechanical or dynamic modifications. The thermodynamics classification is based upon the mechanical as well as the dynamic modifications of air masses, and that has been, suppose air masses is evolved over a source region, but when it goes and enters into the different areas, then it has the thermodynamic modification. Its properties may change, or also it may also change to the areas where it moves. That's why on the basis of the modifications, or on the basis of the thermodynamic changes in the air masses and its characteristics, it is further classified in terms of the cold air masses and warm air masses, and that is further divided in terms of the stable air masses and the unstable air masses. Cold air masses are originated in the polar and Arctic regions, and they are generally characterized with the temperature is very low because of the loss of heat through the outgoing long wave terrestrial radiation. Their specific humidity is also very low, and they have generally stable in terms of their characteristics because of the increase of the normal lapse rate is very low. Normal lapse rate and the changes of the normal lapse rate is also very low. The continent cold air masses, if it moves from their source region and reaching to the areas of having the properties, suppose if the cold masses are originated in the polar areas, but when it start moving in the areas where the temperature is generally warmer, जैसे अगर कोल्ड एरियाज में कोई एयर मासेस ओरिजिन हुई और ये वहां से मूव करके ऐसे एरिया में गई जहां पे आपका तापमान ज्यादा है, then what will happen? The temperature of that areas of the cold air masses will start decreasing. एक तो ये होगा कि टेम्परेचर जो है कोल्ड एयर के मूव होने से वार्मर एरिया में अगर ये जाती है तो वहां का तापमान जो है कम होना शुरू हो जाएगा। लेकिन धीरे धीरे आफ्टर द फ्यू पीरियड्स ऑफ टाइम the air mass is generally also being warmed up because of the warmer areas over which it is flowing. अगर लॉन्गर ड्यूरेशन तक अगर उस एरिया में मूव करती रही तो ये भी गर्म हो जाएगी धीरे धीरे अपने जो सरफेस है जिसके नीचे ये बह रही है, तो उस सरफेस की जो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है वो भी ये डिराइव कर लेगा और वो कोल्डर एरियाज जो है कालांतर में its temperature will also increase and the air become unstable. Then the air will be unstable because of the convectional processes. Its instability will be recorded. If the colder air masses that is lies over warm oceanic areas, warm oceanic surfaces, then the specific humidity also increase. अगर कोल्डर एयर मासेस है, अगर वो ओशनिक सरफेसेस पे है जैसे मैरीटाइम पोलर एयर मासेस, अगर मैरीटाइम एरियाज में है पोलर एयर मासेस है, लेकिन इसकी ह्यूमिडिटी जो है ओशनिक सरफेसेस के वजह से आपकी बढ़ेगी. देयर विल बी द इंक्रीज ऑफ द स्पेसिफिक ह्यूमिडिटी एंड द क्यूमुलोनिम्बस क्लाउड मे बी फॉर्म्ड इन दैट एरियाज. Then if the colder areas moves in the warmer areas, what will happen? Generally the rainfall may occur or the precipitation may occur when the air masses lies over the warm oceanic surfaces. But if it is lies over the warm continent, then the weather will be clear and the precipitation cannot occur. मैंने क्या कहा? If the colder air masses are located over the warm oceanic surfaces, maritime area, then it will produce the precipitation because it will derive the moisture characteristics and the water vapor from the maritime, from the oceanic areas, and cumulonimbus cloud may form and that will cause further precipitation in that areas. But if the cold air masses that is located over the continental areas, then the possibilities of the precipitation is less and the air will be dry and the weather will be dry and that will not be recorded any kind of precipitation in the land areas of the polar air masses. अगर ये कहा जाए कि if the cold areas are partly located over the warm oceanic surfaces and partly located over the adjoining cold land surfaces, then it will produce the cyclonic characteristics. अगर कोई एयर मासेस है जैसे एल्यूटियन आइलैंड है और आपका मान लो कि तुम्हारा आर्कटिक लैंड सरफेसेस है पोलर एरियाज में, और आर्कटिक सी है, और सराउंडिंग जो लैंड सरफेसेस हैं जैसे आइलैंड्स वगैरह हो गए, इन दोनों के टेम्परेचर वेरिएशंस के वजह से, तो जो एयर मासेस आधा अगर मान लो कि समंदर के ऊपर है और उसका आधा पार्ट लैंड सरफेस के ऊपर है, then their characteristics in terms of temperature and pressure will be differentiated. There will be the low pressure over the areas, and there may be the high pressure over the another areas, and because of that local variations of the temperature and the pressure, because of the air masses partly located over the land and partly located over the oceans, then what will happen? It will generate the cyclonic conditions, and the wind moves from high towards the low pressure area into the very high velocity, and that will produce the cyclonic and the genesis, and the cyclone will be formed in certain conditions. Then cold air masses may be further divided in terms of continental cold air masses and maritime cold air masses. तो कुछ कोल्ड एयर मासेस जो कॉन्टिनेंट के ऊपर है, और कुछ कोल्ड एयर मासेस जो है आपके मैरीटाइम कोल्ड एयर मासेस में क्लासिफिकेशन. Another last characteristics is the warm air masses. Warm air masses is that air masses whose temperature is greater than the surface temperature of the areas over which it is flowing. मैंने क्या कहा कि वार्म एयर मासेस उस तरह के एयर मासेस है जिनका तापमान उस ग्राउंड से ज्यादा है, ग्राउंड के तापमान से ज्यादा है जिसके ऊपर वो मूव कर रही है, उसे हम कहते हैं वार्म एयर मासेस का. तो वार्म एयर मासेस भी दो तरह के हो सकते हैं, एक या तो कॉन्टिनेंटल वार्म एयर मासेस या मैरीटाइम वार्म एयर मासेस. तो नेक्स्ट क्लास से आप लोग एक चार्ट बना लीजिएगा कि ज्योग्राफिकल क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एयर मासेस ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द सोर्स रीजन, देन द एरियाज, नेम ऑफ द एयर मासेस एंड प्रॉपर्टीज. 3 कॉलम बनेंगे. अगर इस 3 कॉलम में आपने सबसे पहले लिखना है पोलर एयर मासेस, फिर इसको फर्दर क्लासिफाई करना है कॉन्टिनेंटल पोलर एंड मैरीटाइम पोलर, फिर आपको लिखना है ट्रॉपिकल एयर मासेस, दिन उसको क्लासिफाई करना है कॉन्टिनेंटल ट्रॉपिकल एंड मैरीटाइम ट्रॉपिकल. उसके बाद आपको लिखना है एरिया ऑफ देयर मूवमेंट, आपको पोलर एरियाज, कॉन्टिनेंटल एरियाज. देन आपको उसकी प्रॉपर्टीज लिखनी है कि कॉन्टिनेंटल पोलर एयर मासेस की क्या प्रॉपर्टी है, मैरीटाइम पोलर एयर मासेस की क्या प्रॉपर्टी है, कॉन्टिनेंटल ट्रॉपिकल की क्या प्रॉपर्टी है, और मैरीटाइम ट्रॉपिकल की क्या प्रॉपर्टी. देन योर आंसर विल बी कंप्लीट. अगर ये सवाल ये पूछे तो बस आप एक टेबल से ही इसका एक आंसर दे देंगे, तब भी आपका आंसर पूरा हो जाएगा. और सिविल सर्विसेज के एग्जाम में भी ये सवाल जनरली पूछा जाता है कि व्हाट आर द क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ द एयर मासेस ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ सोर्स रीजन. तो नेक्स्ट क्लास में हम पढ़ेंगे फ्रंट, या फ्रंट के बाद, हाँ, नेक्स्ट क्लास में आवर क्लास विल बी ऑन द फ्रंट. फ्रंट के बाद हम लोग पढ़ेंगे साइक्लोन एंड एंटी साइक्लोन एंड कोपेन्स क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ क्लाइमेट. थैंक यू सो मच. ऑल द बेस्ट. यस. Tomorrow, no, I think that tomorrow I will take extra class. नहीं, आप सबमिट कर सकते हैं, जिसका होता जाए वो अपना भेजता जाए. असाइनमेंट आप लोग, हाँ, अगर हो गया है पहला तो पहला दूसरा इस तरह से भेजते जाइए. ओके. अगर ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन और टेम्परेट साइक्लोन अगर थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा तो 1-2 दिन मैं और आगे बढ़ा दूंगा, इसमें परेशान नहीं होना है. आपको मैं दिक्कत में नहीं डालूंगा. थैंक यू.